Let's be honest, the nest sucks. It's confusing for beginners, and boring for seasoned players. I've already made a video fixing the nest before, but I have some better ideas, while also bringing back the tablet. Let's address the issue. Basically, the nest's layout is very confusing for beginners, who haven't memorized the layout, with most parts of the nest being completely useless. However, there are so many safe spots in the nest, that it's boring for seasoned players, who know the layout. All these issues come back to the map. The map sucks. Here's why. Here's the first floor of the nest, and here's how many areas are completely useless. Do I even need to say anything? Like why the hell are you gonna go through all of this effort of making a huge map, if half of it is completely pointless? I get the grumbles need areas to move around, but there are better ways. And this gets worse. Here are all the safe spots in the nest, and if we overlap both of these maps, we can see that the areas in red are areas you don't need to interact with the grumbles. What the f***? Like really, are you seeing this? The quote-unquote grumble nest has almost no areas where you need to interact with the grumbles. Just why? Before we actually start changing the map, there are some goals I want to set out with this redesign. Firstly, change as little as possible. What I mean by that is, instead of completely revamping the nest, just make quick, feasible edits to it. Secondly, add more loops. These exist in two parts of the nest and they are by far the most fun and challenging anchor locations, and I'm gonna try to add more of them. And lastly, I'm going to try to reduce the number of safe spots, making the grumbles go in more areas, so it's actually challenging, and also makes more sense. With that out of the way, let's begin. My first change is to make it so that the grumbles can come in the central staircase area. It lets them move between the two sides better, and makes the nest more challenging. To go with this, the gate connecting to the computer will only half open, so that the player can enter but not the grumbles. It will also be higher so the grumble can actually properly fit in it for the end of the nest cutscene. Next, we're removing the Death Wish tunnel. Now that the grumbles can use the central staircase area to go between the two sides, there is really no need for this confusing, useless tunnel. In combination with this, we are removing both of these useless vines, which are confusing and a waste of shear's durability. Now, let's make it so that the grumbles can go up until the vines over here, just to make it a bit harder. Next, let's remove this useless dead end, which grumbles can't even get in, like it's just confusing when trying to access the secret Anchor C location. Next, let's turn this area into a loop, to make the grumbles more challenging in this area. I'm gonna simplify this dead end floor access for the grumbles into this actually useful tunnel. The thing about this tunnel is it first creates another loop, second isn't too much faster and is a bit harder than the other route, and third, avoids confusion for players going down this tunnel. Next, I'm gonna consolidate all these connections. Oh, I forgot to mention grumbles can go through this area now. And also, this path is blocked off and just confuses players, so let's just remove it, for simplicity's sake. Now let's remove this vine shortcut. It makes players think that they need to have shears to access this Anchor B location for no reason, so just adds to confusion. Now let's just do a little bit of cleanup, and there we go. These are all the new useless areas, and these are all the new safe spots. As you can see, you need to interact with the grumbles a lot more with this new map design, especially over here, but that gives more merit to this vibe shortcut and the one-way blockage over here. Another plus side of this new map is it's much smaller, going a lot easier on lower-end devices, reducing the intensity of the infamous grumble nest freeze. We've also not changed any of the anchor locations, so this should be fairly easy for the devs to pull off. Now let's revamp the second floor. This one is a bit better than the first, but there are still areas that can be improved. Oh, also, before continuing, I would like to mention that there should probably be little safe spots included in the nest to make sure it isn't too hard. Firstly, let's remove this useless area up here. It's not even confusing for players, it just acts as a useless safe spot. Then let's remove this useless balcony room, which no one ever even goes near. Now, this is a whole confusing mess. Let's consolidate these connections while removing this weird safe spot. Like it's right next to the staircase. Does it really need to be a safe spot? It's just making it harder for the grumbles to move around. Next, let's remove this barrier while consolidating the connection, making this tunnel actually useful as a shortcut between both sides of the nest. Now this connection, just why man, you're confusing players for no reason. Just make it connect directly. Oh, also, I'm not extending this to the staircase as it would completely nullify this shear's path's usefulness. Let's make this connection, given this tunnel use, while adding a hard way to get around the loop. Now just a bit of cleanup and there we go. Once again the map is much smaller, We haven't changed up the anchor locations, and basically the whole map is useful. There are much less safe spots, and you need to interact with the grumbles way more. Now one last thing I want to add to the maps to make them actually hard to navigate for pro players, is variations each run. In the library, different paths are blocked up during different runs, and I want to add a more extreme version of this to the Grumble Nest, with instead tunnels being rerouted between runs. Now these variations won't be too stark, but they'll help with the replayability of the nest. The very last thing I want to add before moving on to the next part is removing the nest buffs when playing in multiplayer. No other boss fight has it, why add it here? Now, to make the nest easier to navigate for beginners, there will be these two monitors, which you can interact with and focus into to more easily so what's on them. And they display the actual map of the nest, including the locations of the anchors. Now, you're probably thinking that this is way too overpowered, and I agree, this is why the map actually looks like this. You see these question marks? Well, they will be removed once you go through that specific area of the nest. This map points you in the general direction you need to go in order to find the anchor. Oh yeah, you can also zoom in and out of these computers in a similar way to documents in Pressure. Now, going back to the computer every time can be annoying, so that means that it's time to bring back the tablet baby. For this to work, I first need to make some changes to the map. Adding this second secret room around this Anchor B location and making it so Anchor C can't spawn in the other secret room. One of these two secret rooms will contain the tablet on this pedestal. It basically shows you the map of the current floor you're on while also showing you your current location every time it pings back to the anchor. The background will also be see-through so that you can actually see in front of you. Now, the very last change I want to add to the nest is one with guiding light. Firstly, the thing where she highlights the anchor once when you first move to it isn't really necessary anymore because of the map, so it will be removed. However, I would like to change what happens when guiding light shows you the location of the anchor after a while of you not being able to find it. It will now show you a manually set up route from the computer to the anchor. Now, this is a lot of work from the devs, but they could simplify it with an algorithm, and it would make the nest much less frustrating for new players. So yeah, if you liked this video where I fixed the nest, consider checking out this video where I added back puzzles to the hotel. And if you like these changes, consider liking and subscribing, but only if you want.